And now I'm telling myself, look, I don't care what people say, I don't care how upset they are. Oh, Faith is bossy, Faith always wants to do everything. I'm doing it. The point of going into that arena is to win. And if I know going to that place, like doing the thing is going to make us win. I don't care how many people hate me. I don't care how many people fight, bicker, gossip. I'm doing it. I'm ready to fight everyone in this house if it means I get to win the whatever I'm doing for. Because now that I think about it, but what was I doing? Like I could have just gone. But yes.
I am not one to make fun of people's bodies.
Hey!
Because why would I want to do that?
Hey!
Yes, Vicky. I can be with people having a conversation and I'll zone out. I lose interest, but I'm there. I'm physically there, but I'm not there mentally. I zone out.
Sometimes you contribute.
Hey!
Yeah, to contribute to it. Oh yes.
Jesus.
Sometimes I contribute, but it's not like. But then, Vicky, I contribute to the ones that are true.
Yo! Ladies and gentlemen, listen, today I was so scared for myself because 1 minute I was getting mentally stimulated by Faith's diary session, and then moments later, it felt like Sultana's diary session was gonna suck the life out of my brains. Guys, I felt like I was losing brain cells. I felt like my brain was gonna crash down. I was mentally exhausted. That was the huge difference between these two people's diary sessions today, and it was quite interesting that I wasn't the only person feeling that way. Yeah, it was such a striking difference, ladies and gentlemen, striking to the extent of shocking, that at some point I was so bored. I mean, Sultana was in the diary room for over an hour. I'm not even exaggerating. Yes, I am not exaggerating. She was in there for over an hour, just yapping lies, yapping half-truths. Just, oh my goodness. I mean, Big Brother always condones her rubbish whenever she gets into the diary room. Big Brother always, encourages her to speak more, to share more by asking her more questions than usual. But today, even Big Brother himself, who seems to be more like Sultana's #1 cheerleader, was shocked by the kind of lies that she was telling in the diary room. This girl was lying with all manner of confidence. Guys, listen, I was watching this girl and I wasn't particularly shocked, but I literally had to pick my jaw from the floor. Because today, Sultana stamped it, bam, on the wall, on the Hall of Fame, that, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I am a pathological liar. Guys, I kid you not. It felt like today was I've always known that she lies a lot. I've always known that she's very, very manipulative. I've always known that every time Sultana walks into that diary room, she's there to gaslight the viewers. She's there to spin narratives. She's there to lie. She's there to just lie, deceive, lie, and nothing else. No single truth comes out of any of Sultana's diary session. I know that is our usual style of communicating with Big Brother and of course us the viewers, but today's one, it was so heavy that even Big Brother himself almost had a cardiac arrest. Big Brother had to pause her, and aside pausing her, he had to abruptly end the diary session. And this is after she had spent over an hour in there. He had to end the diary session because even himself, he knew that he was going to faint from the lies, because the lies were choking. Ha! But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into this video and we're going to dissect some of the things that both Faith and Sultana shared during their diary sessions, with more emphasis on Faith's diary session. I mean, frankly speaking, ladies and gentlemen, I would rather spend my day, analyzing Faith's diary session because it was more mentally stimulating. There were a lot of misnomers that he actually cleared. There were a lot of things that he actually explained. And there just might be a new plan that Faith is trying to put together between himself and another female housemate. I cannot wait to share this plan with all of you, all right? And of course, aside these two, there were other housemates who had their diary session, and quite frankly, it wasn't so mentally stimulating, I'm sorry to say, but it was just basic. It was just there. So on this video, my apologies in advance if it seems like we're not going to be spending more time analyzing your fave's diary session. It wasn't really that much of a big deal. All right, so we're going to be giving more emphasis to these two people's diary session. All right, so please make sure you watch this video to the end. Do not skip out in any part. All right, so you do not miss out on anything. And you are all specially welcome to my channel. My name is Glory Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Without further ado, let's ride into the rest of the video. Now, first, beginning with Faith's diary session, because of course, he was the first housemate to have his diary session today. He had expressed that he truly misses Joanna. She's the only person that sees him in the house, that understands him, and does not judge him harshly. Yes. Now, in that regard, he's actually right that Joanna, in a way, to some extent, you know, gets to see him in the house and accepts him the way he is. However, they need to reevaluate their friendship, probably after the show, because the way he expressed his feelings towards Joanna as a friend, sometimes that is not the case, because of course Joanna is also playing a solo game. She's also trying to thrive on her individuality, and so most of the time she throws Faith under the bus just to survive, all right, so as not to be a target in the house, which is quite understandable. But you know, Faith needs to reevaluate his friendship with Joanna if they are going to build up upon it after the house, all right, or rather, yeah, after the show. Now, he went on to explain the reason for his challenger selection during the head of house challenger. I'm going to speak a bit more about this because when I made a video about the nominations, that was on Monday, and also announcing that Thelma, you know, is the new head of house, I saw some comments. I mean, guys, the way these comments come, it's very, very weird. I saw some comments of some people accusing me of trying to cover Faith's diabolical plans. And guys, I was so confused. These people were saying that, oh, Faith had concocted a very evil plan to disgrace all the people he had selected to challenge him during head of house challenger, because he knows that he's going to win again. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but you see, the people who were reasoning that way, and then they had the audacity to come and comment such on my channel, guys, I'm like, nah, this is the highest level of stupidity. I'm sorry to say, but that was very stupid. That was very dumb. That was very, very shallow-minded. And it also goes to prove that these people are just headless chickens who go with the flow of whatever nonsensical narrative they see flying around on social media. And when I advise people that, hey, watch the show for yourself, and if you do not have time, try to listen to reasonable analysis like mine that would at least give you clarity on most of the happenings in the house, a lot of them will say no. They want to follow the nonsense that they learn from their terrible WhatsApp groups, which is just very ridiculous. Because guys, even before Faith explained himself during his diary session today, I already explained it on one of my videos, that this guy was tired of being head of house. He needed a breather, and also because there was already too much tension in the house with regards to his position and his style of leadership. He had gone ahead during the head of house challenge on Monday to select the most competitive and most athletic housemates to compete against him for the head of house challenger. And at some point, it seemed like he had deliberately sabotaged himself to allow others to have, you know, a more advantage in the game. And guys, look at the selection again. He had chosen Bright Morgan, whom he had praised on different occasions that Bright is always on top of his game. He had chosen Bright. He had chosen Thelma. Thelma is one of the most competitive female housemates this season. Especially in the arena, that girl is brutal. She know they smile. Like whenever it comes to games and any sort of task in the arena, Thelma is always on top of her game. Let's forget about her bad character. He chose Thelma. He chose Coin, who is always second to the last. I mean, anybody that does not want anybody else to defeat them, anybody else that wants to retain the title and position of head of house would not have gone out of their way to choose such contenders, because those people, they were heavyweights, they were threats. But Faith went ahead to choose them regardless. He had chosen, what's his name now? What's this guy's name? K-Bobo. He had chosen K-Bobo. And then he had also chosen Jason J. Jason J, whom not just Big Brother, but also us, the viewers, are declared as one of the, in fact, not even one of, the fastest housemates of the season. And the same Jason J was bragging left, right, and center that he wants people to choose him. He wants to compete against Faith. He wants to take that title from Faith. Blah, 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 blah. He wants to revenge. He wants to show Faith Pepe. Blah, blah, blah. Faith chose all these people, knowing fully well that they are threats to him retaining his title. He chose all of them. And guess what? Thelma emerged. And ladies and gentlemen, maybe a lot of you did not hear it that day, but the moment Thelma was wearing that HOH badge, or rather when Faith was handing over the HOH badge, Thelma had thanked him in the arena. She had said, Faith, thank you for choosing me. I heard it. Even inside the house, when they went back into the house, Thelma had thanked Faith again. And do you know why she was thanking Faith? One, because both of them, they are sworn enemies in that house. They do not see eye to eye. Everybody knows that Thelma does not like Faith. Faith is completely indifferent to Thelma's existence in that house. But for him, he needed to leave the head of house room. The reason why he had worked hard for it to win it on Sunday was because he had won it in the week of bare minimum. So he did not get to enjoy the luxury of the room, of the lounge. So him winning it again on Sunday night, he wanted to at least enjoy it for one night and one day. And he did. He had his time there. So, you know, I was so happy that when he came for his diary session today, the same way I explained all of these things, he had also taken out time to explain all of it. But once again, back to those people that came to come and comment nonsense, say, oh, Glory, you are trying to cover up for Faith. I'm wondering, where did they keep their sense? Where did they keep their sense? Anyways, trash them, trash them. Now, still back to Faith's diary session. He had also explained that there's been a lot of changes in his relationship with Thelma. They are not the best of friends yet, but ever since that Monday, he has noticed that Thelma has changed towards him in a good way. The tension between both of them has completely dissolved. There's no more tension between them. She now tries to engage him in conversations, she's now kind of nicer towards him. Today, he had done some sort of tie and dye project on one of his shirts, and Thelma had actually given him some very, very nice compliments. I mean, she's now being very, very sweet to him. And he's quite surprised because, it feels good to no longer be misunderstood, because one would have thought that, okay, maybe because he and Thelma, they always quarrel, they always bicker, maybe he would never have chosen her to compete or to challenge him during the challenger. And even Thelma herself was shocked. She was surprised. But looking at the fact that she has won the head of house now, she now understands him better. So there seems to be some sort of, what's that word now? Like things are just very chilled between both of them. And he appreciates that. And he had gone ahead to sing Thelma's praises, that she's very, very competitive. He respects her a lot because when it comes down to task and arena games, she's always ready to go for it. And he respects her a lot. And he thinks it's something that is quite commendable that people should look at. And this is the part where he had explained that a thought had occurred to him that what if he and Thelma struck up some sort of alliance? That he knows that they have just 3 weeks left, but then there's no harm in striking up such an alliance where nobody can mess with either of them, So on the surface level, their fellow housemates will still have the misinformation that both of them are still at loggerheads, they are not cool with each other, but behind the facade of it all, both of them, they have this, solid understanding where they have each other's back. That is actually thinking about it that way. So he was asking Big Brother what Big Brother thinks about it. So Big Brother was asking him, okay, how does he intend to go about it? And he said, well, it's something that just popped up in his mind and he's going to think about it. And if he pulls through with the plan, fine. He's going to make that proposal to Thelma. If she accepts, fine. If she doesn't accept, fine. But it's just something that he thinks is going to spice things up a bit. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be frank with all of you. As much as I would love to see, a bit of spice in the show, as much as I would love to see some sort of twist in the house, I feel like Faith is doing just fine by himself. Yeah. I feel like his personality, his character, the character that a lot of people fell in love with is the fact that he has a mind of his own, is his individuality. Now, Thelma, in a way, is very similar to Faith in terms of their strong-headedness, in terms of the fact that they are both very, very stubborn. When they believe in something, they stand by it and nobody can shake their resolve, right? And another thing is, Thelma is the type of person that enjoys being in control. Faith, to some extent, allows things slide, but when it comes to Thelma, Thelma does not know how to let things go. She does not know how to allow other people be in charge. So where there's an alliance between these two people, I do not think it's going to work. I think Thelma would want to be the boss of everything. I think Thelma would want to be in charge of whatever they decide to do. So an alliance between those two, for me, I think it's going to be a bad idea. I do not think Faith should go ahead with it. I do not even want to see it. Yes, I feel like that individuality that people fell in love with, he's good to go. Let him carry on with it. Let him not pollute it with any form of alliance with Thelma. If they had agreed on such an alliance, maybe from the very first week or second week, it would have made more sense. But now, this is like the last lap of the show. There's no point forming an alliance. He needs to continue playing his solo game. He needs to continue carrying himself the way he has always carried himself. I do not want to see Faith change at all. But that is just my opinion. I would love to hear from all of you about that. What do you think about the possibility of an alliance between Faith and Thelma? Do you think it's going to make for good TV? Do you think it's going to be entertaining? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, aside that, he had a lot of nice things to say about Joanna. He had talked about all the many lessons that he had learned from Joanna, the lessons on patience, the lessons on letting people do as they please as adults, and then watching them face the consequences later on. He has cited an example that this week, as much as the theme of the week is soft life, that suddenly all the protein in the house is almost finished in just a matter of 2 days. Yes, 2 days. And that is because Thelma, being the head of house, is trying to make a difference from his own style of leadership from last week. So she's allowing everybody to do whatever they want to do. And so everybody is eating as much as they like. People are cooking varieties of foods, using all the protein in the house without consideration for every other person in the house. So for him, it felt really good, to just sit down and watch this silent chaos happen in the house. Because a lot of people were complaining about his reign last week. But now this week, where things are not really that strict, look at the way things are panning out. So ladies and gentlemen, I totally agree with him on that regard, because some of the housemates had their diary session today and they were complaining about the fact that, Big Brother, it's just 2 days and there's no more meat in the house. There's no more fish in the house. And I'm thinking, well, good for you all. He had also talked about how much he misses his family, because of course Big Brother had asked all of these housemates, you spent 7 weeks in Big Brother's house, who do you miss the most outside? And he had mentioned that he missed his mom. See, guys, if there's one thing I really, really would love to see before the end of this season, or probably even after the end of the show, I would love to see Faith's family, if not all of them, but his mom especially, because Faith has a lot of scores to settle with his mom, and I understand that kind of relationship, between a parent and their child. He said that the mom, she's very, very smart, like extremely smart, always believes that everything she says is always right. And the guy was just talking and I was just looking at him like this. I'm like, dude, look in the mirror. You are a reflection of your mom. So what are you talking about? He had a lot of nice things to say about his family. the little circle he has, you know, friends and loved ones in general. And it was just really heartwarming to listen to him speak about those people. And as I said, I really would love to see Faith's mom. It's one thing I would really love to see. I mean, if there's one thing I would really love to see, maybe before the end of the show or after this show, I would love to see his mom. I want to see the woman that birthed this genius. I want to see the person who Faith embodies, like, my God. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is that. Now, after getting mentally stimulated by such a beautiful, a wonderful diary session with Faith, Sultana was the last person to have a diary session. As I said before, she spent over an hour in there lying. And guys, I kid you not when I say that it felt like I was losing brain cells. I'll summarize the many things that she lied about. Sultana lied that she doesn't gossip. Or let me say she insinuated that she doesn't gossip. She insinuated and even said that when Zita was attacking her and Doris last week, that she was kind of lost. She didn't understand what Zita was talking about. She was still holding grudges against Kola for the terror roast task. That, the instructions of the game said that housemates should use the words on the card that they picked, that every other person used words on the card, but Kola did not use the words on the card. Instead, Kola used words that he had already discussed with other people. He had gossiped about with other people. And I'm looking at this girl because she was saying that, everything Kola used to roast her was a lie. And I'm like, Madam, did you pee or not in Dede's box? I mean, Sultana, did you not pee in Dede's box? Did you not remove your panties, your grown woman panties? Did you not remove it? Pull it down, bent down like a toddler, and then you opened your leg, and then you peed on someone. So where is the lie? Huh? I don't want to talk about every other thing, so it doesn't seem like I'm actually going for the kill here, but where is the lie in any of the things that Kola used to roast Sultana on that day? Tell me, where's the lie? And then she kept on insisting that he lied, because people that was like, no, Kola actually used the words. She was like, but big brother, most of the things that he said, she was just yapping nonsense, just lying. And then on the part of people that gossip she was like, all these people that gossip in the house, I don't even know what they're talking about, because when people are talking, I'm always quiet. People that said, Sultana, you contribute. She was like, big brother, laughing and being quiet. I don't understand though. Is it a crime to laugh? And I said, Jesus. Is this how this girl lies in real life? Because she's a dangerous person. she's dangerous. This girl will sit here and gaslight the whole world watching the show right now that she does not gossip. Ha! Hey. And then she went on about, big brother, I am never one that will body shame anybody. Big brother had to call her. Big brother was like, Sultana. And she was like, yes, big brother. And then it's as if she understood that big brother was telling her, shut the fuck up. And then she was like, big brother. And then, see, I'm sorry, but see, I put out a tweet. Sultana's diary session today was nauseating. Yeah. Or is it nauseating or not? See, it was repulsive. It was repulsive. It was irritating. The fact that, it's like when you know the truth about a housemate, what they've been displaying on the show, and then they come into the diary room and they come and lie, trying to gaslight the viewers and make it look like we're the ones that are dumb, that we are not, like what we are seeing, we're not seeing it. So Sultana was literally gaslighting herself, not me. Because everything she was saying was a blatant lie. And it was just so disgusting to see. At some point, I zoned out. I said, nah, I can't listen to this bullshit anymore. I can't listen to this. Because who does this girl think she's talking to? Or maybe her fans. Because for those ones, they'll still come and, Glory, you hate Sultana so much. Glory, you hate Sultana. No, I hate the fact that people are very, very dense. Nobody's saying you should not defend your faith. Defend your faith, but the lies. Oh my goodness. Guys, you see, I'm not even going to bore you. I'm not even going to waste your time. Just know that Sultana's diary session was an absolute waste of time. It was very, very disgusting to listen to those lies. And the fact that Big Brother just completely indulged her for over an hour, allowed her to yap nonsense, and then when he was now fed up, he now said, Sultana, your diary session has gone to my head. I'm like, no, keep her in there. In fact, pull out your pom-poms and be cheering her. Go Sultana, go Sultana, go. Just be cheering her the way you normally do. Because I don't understand why he would allow her to take so long to be lying and lying and lying. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending this video right now because I'm just so pissed. Even recollecting the details of our diary session was just very disgusting. I don't want to think about it. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please go ahead and share in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your evening. Bye.